Sup, Melee World. I just gotta say, looking at the gameplay from Galint 2022, IBDW versus, I already forgot. I mean, it felt like just a level 9 Jigglypuff, the way IBDW made it look. No offense. Because Puff got skills too. Getting distracted here. What I think about the mod to make the game look crisp, it's like cell shaded, right? And the percent font is changed, and the maps are a little different. The camera's a little cleaner. It's people don't really talk about Melee 2 anymore. Nobody really talks about that. It was a hot topic for a long time. Like, oh man, Melee 2 would be sick. But then, eventually Nintendo vocally hates the Melee community so much that we gave up all hope and discussion of Melee 2, right? I think that was probably the catalyst for that. Is just Nintendo kind of trying to shit on us a bunch, canceling tournaments, this and that. What is it? We can't be an MLG or something because of them, right? Like something like that. Like we can't be sponsored by them. I'm tangenting it again. We haven't talked about Melee 2 in a long time, is the point. But when we did, we always talked about what would it look like? What would it look like? And then it was like, oh, is it Project M? Is it Project 2? Project Plus? Project 2. But no, it's not. They're awesome. They're all awesome games, and they're just not really like. They never really felt like Melee 2. They're a little bit easier, right? Technically speaking. I mean, the L cancel frames were higher, like the frame window was higher, for example, right? And there's a flash if you got it. You're a bit slipperier, so it's easier to edge cancel. There's a bunch of things, kind of like many other Smash games, that are they're similar, whether they're Smash clones or actual later Smash games. They're similar, obviously, but they don't have the same flow as Melee. They don't have the same technical requirements and depth. They just don't. And so that's why none of the other games really ever felt like Melee 2, because none of them could replicate that beautifulness, that beautiful accident that Melee has, is its fucking seemingly arbitrary and random levels of depth in many different areas. Like, why would the developers put that there? Like, why do they think, like, who knows what their fucking intentions were, because they didn't even plan for it to be a game like this, right? It was a party game, so what the fuck? But that's why the cell shaded and modern-ish clean cut look of the Melee mod that they're using for Galint 2022, it's just the same game otherwise. So, and that's what, like, Melee 2 feels like it has to be. It has to have all the same bullshit that it has. The same, whether it's bullshit or immensely niche, or not niche, but nuanced technical skills, or like happenstance that happens in the game. You basically just got to reskin it. So I think that's basically Melee 2. I think that's fucking hype. Now, I know this is a long talk, but I think it's worth it because I've been a Melee fan since the beginning. Do I feel like there needs to be, like, do I have a problem looking at the oldish, models of the game, right? The game looks old. When you look at Melee, it looks old. It looks like it's for GameCube, right? So I think that in this day and age, that kind of, it does steer some people away. In the same way that, like, it is for anything, right? Like, look, like, watching a video in 360p. I mean, that's not the best example, but you know what I mean? Versus 1080s, like, you just can't do it as much anymore. We acclimate to the technological innovations over time. So now if a game came out and it was like Melee graphics, you'd be like, it's not this. It could like you wouldn't look at it like a blockbuster game. You know, it'd be like a niche game because blockbuster games, whether they're whatever animation style they have, they're all just like top of the art now. You know what I mean? The cell shading, it looks like a bit of an upgrade. It really does in terms of modernism, right? Now, back to what I was saying. Do I need that as a Melee fan? Do I, EJS, need that? No, I'd probably still watch and play Melee regardless because I think I like how it looks. I've always liked how it looks, and I think old games are cool. It's not it, you know. But do I think the world needs it? Yes. Do I think it would help Melee in the long run? Keep longevity, keep viewership, and attract new viewership? I do. It would be like a weird thing to adjust to for everybody, right? It'd be a new thing to acclimate to, but I can't help but think that you know, that would be really good for the community. It looks good, right? It's and it gives a new feel. It gives a new feel to the game. Like, makes me want to just go even faster. Just look at how IBDW looks in this video, in that video I posted, in him versus that Puff, and tell me that it doesn't look like the future. That video made me want to be like, IBDW is going to be number one. He's playing like Tass. You know, I think that's the style he goes for. Everyone's got their own style. I think Leffen was like the original. Well, Leffen or like Hacks Money, like the original. I think try to play the most optimal version of Fox, like optimal. But I don't know, IBDW just there versus Puff, at least versus the Puff matchup, that was optimal. And doing it with the new graphics that are implemented there, he made it look real good. So that's my thoughts. Check me out.